guys, welcome back to Marine Beyond. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you how to make a braided infinity scarf and how to finger knit. So let's get on to the video. So what you're going to need is you're going to need a pair of scissors. You're going to need a ball of yarn. And if you want to make the braided scarf, you're going to need 2 more of the finger knitted snakes, which is what I'm going to call them. And this is what we're going to make today, and I'm going to show you how to make right now. So let's get on with it. To start out, you're going to take your hand and you're going to do what's called casting, so you're going to start out with the tail. You're going to want a significantly big tail, not too long, but still probably like that. You're going to put that in between your thumb, and then you actually need to be able to see the tail, so you're going to be like that. And then you're going to take this and you're going to go underneath of your first finger, above the second, underneath, and over. And then you're going to do that again, but this time reverse. So you're going to go underneath your pinky, over your ring finger, underneath your middle, and over the top. And then you're going to repeat that to make it 2. So you're going to go over, under, over, over, under, over. And then you want to and then that's it. And you want to hold this part. Then you're going to start your pinky and you're going to take the bottom loop and you're going to want to take that and pull that over top your pinky. Then you're going to want to do the same thing. The next one, we're just going over top. That's all I'm doing. And the first strand might be a little bit tricky, but then you might want to pull the tail and then pull your other yarn. And that's what it looks like in the back. It's not going to look like much right now, but we're going to fix it so then it will. The next one, you're going to take this, you're going to go under, over, under, over, under, over, hold, and then pull your loops over top your fingers. Just like this. And then if they get too high on your fingers, you could just kind of push them down so then they're down to the bottom. And that's the second stitch. And you're just going to want to keep going under, over, under, over. And you're only going to have to do the under, over once now. The first stitch you're going to need to do 2, so then you make 2 to loop it over top. But then you're just going to want to keep going like this. And there is your third stitch. Just like that. Now you can start to see it. And your tail, once you get about to your 5th stitch, you can kind of let your tail go. So then you don't have a tail in your way and the tail will hold on to the bottom. You won't need to hold the tail anymore. So you can just go like this. Goes like that. Just gonna want to go under, over, under, over. Pull it over top. And then by now you can kind of take the tail, put it out of the way, and just kind of keep going the same kind of way. And if you want to make your snake smaller, you can do that. If you want to make it longer, you can do that. And then see, you can pull this down once you get it far enough, and then it'll start making that little finger knitted shape. Just like this. Okay, so now that I've knitted the entire snake length, I want to show you how to end it off. So how you end it off is you start out by taking this loop and you put it on to your ring finger. You take this loop and you put it onto your middle finger. And then you're just going to put it over top the other ones and tighten that down. Just pull on the snake. Then you're going to want to take this loop, put it on top, or you can do the inverse, and then just put it over top just like this. And then you got this loop, and you're going to want to take your scissors and cut off a good amount of yarn. And now you're going to want to take this piece of yarn, put it through the loop, but not completely, just so that it makes another loop, and you could put the yarn through that loop and then tie it off. And then you're just going to want to pull that one tight, and then just select another loop that's around there, put it through, and do the same kind of knot again. And then just yank that through, and that's what secures that part off. And then since I have this pretty long tail, I'm just going to take the scissors and I'm just going to cut that part off. Next, you're going to want to take this part and you're going to want to put it through that loop, through this loop right here. And you're just going to want to tie the end off, just like the stuff that we did on the top. You're just going to want to pick another loop and put it through, tie it off. And you can stop here if you just want to make one of these snakes, or if you wanted to make a bracelet, you could tie these two ends together and make a little bracelet. But if you want to make a scarf, you're going to need 3 of these snakes. Now these took me a little bit, but it's a nice way to practice. And we're gonna start braiding. So let's get on with that. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna braid these 3 sections together. So you're going to want to find your 3 sections and separate them out, because sometimes they're a little bit harder to find. That's one section, and they all want to be pretty much the exact same length. So you're just going to want to section these 3 sections out. Next, you're going to want to take the 3 sections from the tops. There's 2, and here's my 3rd section. And so you can see how these tails are different lengths, which is fine. You're just going to want to tie this 2 sections together, just like so. Just do a simple double knot, or you can do it 3 times, which is what I'm going to do. Just a simple one. And then, see, those 2 are attached. And then you're going to want to take your 3rd piece, and you're going to want to tie it off to these 2 pieces. I'm just going to take the longer strand, and you're going to want to do the exact same thing that you just did on the other strand. Just going to put it through, tie it off, and all this is doing is just connecting those 3 strands so then they don't come undone. Perfect. And see, now they're all tied together. So you just have your 3 little strands. Next, you're going to want to lay them out, and you can also make this as big or as small as you want. I just happen to make them really, really big. But anyway, then you're just going to want to put it down, and you're going to want to section it out, and you're going to want to start braiding. So this is just a simple braid. So just take this side, put it over to here, take this side, put it over to here, and then tighten it up. And you're just going to want to keep doing that, just like so. And if it's longer, you might need to reach down to the end and kind of unloosen it up. But all you're doing is just braiding it down, just like this, and you can make it as loose or as tight as you want it. Okay, so after you finish that, we're just gonna braid the little tiny last part of it. And now, if it gets too small at the bottom, you can just kind of undo it. Now we're going to take these 2 pieces and we're just gonna tie them off like we did at the top. So you're going to take this and go around. It might be a little bit harder because you have to hold the 3rd strand, but still easier. You can always just let go of the third strand because you can always tie it up later. And then you're just going to keep tying it up like how we did at the top. And then after you finish that, take your third strand and you're going to tie that to your other strands that you've already tied up. Just like this. And you can leave it like this if you just want to make like a scarf just like this, but I'm actually going to make an infinity scarf. So how you would do that is you would take your top end and your bottom end, and we're just going to tie them off. You're going to tie them together like we've been doing. And if there's two longer strands, you want to tie those two strands together, and you just want to tie them off. I'm just going to tie them off 4 or 5 times, or a lot of times really. And then you just want to cut off your excess, still leaving a good amount of the tab. And that is how you make an infinity scarf. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and just learned how to make this. If you guys like my video, please hit that like button down below, and if you want to see more of my videos, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. Don't forget to venture off to the beyond. Bye guys!